Hello and welcome everybody back to another Trophy Hunter gaming video, and we're back with our Let's Platinum on Pathologic 2. Now we are on the part 2 of day 3. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we are going to go and see Notkin's friend a bit later on. But we do need to pop a trophy first as it is day 3. So we are going to head to the Nutshell and we're going to want to be taking a piece of mechanical scrap with us. We always check the bins, so if you haven't got any mechanical scrap at the moment, do go around the rest of the town and search any bins, any skips, until you find some mechanical scrap. You can also trade for it. So as soon as you walk into the Nutshell, you're going to see two kids on the left, and if you speak to either of them, it doesn't matter which ones you speak to, they're going to ask you to fix this little projector here. So if you go over to it and you choose the Tinker option, and if you have a piece of mechanical scrap, you can add the mechanical scrap to it and you're going to fix it, and you're going to unlock the Magic Lantern trophy. Next, we're going to want to head over to the warehouse district, and in particular, we're going to go and see the Soul and a Half's base, and we're going to go and see Notkin as one of his friends is extremely ill. So this is basically our first real encounter with someone who is infected with the plague. So we're going to have to basically take everything we practiced in the Haruspex layer and apply it. So if we speak to Aspati before we go in, she's basically going to say to us that she doesn't really trust us to do the diagnosis on the child inside the warehouse. She's going to want to do it for us, but it doesn't really matter what options you choose at this point. I just chose the let this be a learning experience for me. Basically move aside and let me do what I need to do. So if we enter the warehouse, we're going to find Notkin and his friends at the very back. So we're going to go and speak to Notkin first. So by speaking to Notkin, we're basically just going to be handed a load of medicine, which will come in really, really handy. Not only for this, for later on as well. And if we ask him to hand over the pills, we're going to take a look. He should hand us quite a few pills, one of each, and some immunity tabs as well. So the child on the floor here, if we press the square button, we're going to give him some medicine. Now basically, we're going to have to do what we did before. So if we keep an eye on the pain level, which is on the right, we've got plenty of morphine with us. So you basically just want to go out on a whim and just choose any one of the tinctures. I'm going to go for the Madrell tincture. There we go. Straight away, we've diagnosed the poor little fella and we give him the treatment, which is obviously the yellow pills. Job done. So that was successful. If we talk to Notkin again, he's going to ask us if the child's going to make it. So you can tell him whatever you want to tell him here. It doesn't really matter. But he's going to let us know that the Bachelor has been after us at this point. He's been asking to see us. But there's a few things I want to do first before we go and see the Bachelor, because as soon as we go and see the Bachelor, or where the Bachelor is possibly located, it's going to skip the day to 7:30 straight away, no matter what time, and that's when the plague is going to officially break out within this town. So save your game if you want to and leave the warehouse. I'm going to find Sticky outside. He's going to tell us that he's cleaned the place up, burned the trash and whatever, and he's going to tell you that he's broken something within the Haruspex layer, and he says he knows someone who can trade for certain things. If you just be nice to him, you just don't choose the diamond answers until the very end. So we're going to go ahead and choose the next map marker, or the new map marker we just got after speaking to Sticky, and we're going to head to the Haruspex layer. And once we arrive, we're going to be greeted by a fan club. Basically, words got out that we've just saved some little kid's life, or so everyone thinks. And now we're going to get people outside the Haruspex layer asking us, can we see to their brothers, can we see to their sisters, can we save such and such? So you can talk to these guys or not. And if you do talk to them, it doesn't really matter what you say to them. It's just a bit of story for you. And when we walk inside the Haruspex layer, we're going to be greeted by Aspity. And Aspity is going to be really pleased with us, the way we've diagnosed that kid we just diagnosed. So you can tell her whatever you want to. I'm just going to head into the Haruspex layer very quickly. First of all, I'm going to sort the inventory out because it is looking a little bit of a mess. So I will see you guys in a second.
One joke away from being a goner.
So I've tidied up the inventory. It's time to head back out, and our next port of call is to go and see the guy we were asked to go and see before from the judge. Be forewarned, because we are about to enter a plagued district. Now, this is the first taste of the plague we're going to get within the game, but we should be okay. We're also going to do a lot of looting down here as well, because we're going to be able to pick up some nice little items for trading, etc. So here we are. Let's just fill up a couple of water bottles first, and let's just double check, make sure we're all healthy and we have max immunity and whatever. And there we go. We're all good to go, I think. And if we talk to the patrolman, he's basically going to give us some protective clothing, some immunity tablets, and some other essential items which we're going to need right now and throughout the rest of the game. Basically going to say every district is locked down to everyone except for doctors. Now, because we're a doctor, we do get access to literally anywhere without a problem. But always make sure that you have full protective clothing. You can see at the minute we've got a mask, gloves and boots. We can also get a cloak. Make sure your immunity is all the way up to the max, because as soon as we enter this plague district, it is going to start attacking our immunity. And once your immunity reaches 0, that's when your health will start to be getting attacked. So as you can see here on the map quickly, you'll see the district is red. If the district is in red, it is currently plagued. They don't stay plagued all the time. The districts on the map do turn black, which means basically the plague is not active within that little district anymore. There are certain tasks we can do or not do, and that will basically affect a certain district. If we do something wrong in a district, then we can plague that district, if you see what I mean. If we don't do anything in that district, we can also plague the district, if you know what I mean. You'll be able to get the gist of it later on. But a perfect example of that is when we do a quest for Lara. We have to move water from one place to another. Now, if we move the water, it will plague Lara's district. But if we don't move the water, then it's not going to plague Lara's district. It's just these little choices we get given in the game. But anyway, onto this. This is the house we need to enter. And you'll see it's absolutely all murky inside. You'll see that black cloud floating around again, so we want to avoid that as much as possible. Be on the lookout for any attackers or any muggers as well. This is why I'm going to equip my knife right now and just walk around just in case. We're going to be doing a lot of looting, so we'll find decent items to trade. So just check all the cupboards. You'll find lots of cash. You're going to find lots of used medicines and things like that. Lots of good things to trade for the dead item trader. So it's definitely worth looting in these plague districts. Just as I say, just make sure that you're well protected and you should be okay. This guy's got a lockpick and some water on him. Now, if you chose the autopsy option right there, you will get a bad rep for yourself. So you can loot the bodies that are infected. Just don't do any autopsy on them, because you will start to get a bad reputation for yourself. We will need to do it at some point, but there are certain places we can do it and certain places we shouldn't do it, as we do need to harvest some organs and whatever from infected people to create the cure later on. So just avoid that black cloud there, and we're going to head up the stairs. So when picking a lock, you're going to use the R2 and L2 buttons simultaneously, and you're going to want to get those two arrows within the little red part. It's pretty straightforward. Lockpicks do break. Unless it's worth it, I wouldn't really go around all the houses unlocking absolutely everything, because it does waste time and it is very dangerous. So we'll just we'll do it for this example, but you won't see me do it very often throughout the game, to be honest, as I just literally loot what I can and get in, get out. Now, the black cloud does follow us round in a complete circle, but as long as we avoid it, we should be okay. Again, taking as much of the items as we can take. And if we speak to this guy here, this is the guy we wanted to speak to in the first place. And if we ask him if he's the prefect of this district, he's going to tell us yes. And he's going to tell us a bit more about the plague and what's happening. And he's basically going to say that it's okay to loot plagued houses, or houses that are in a plague district. If you do start looting houses that aren't in a plague district, again, your rep will be affected. But we've seen the prefect now. That's basically that quest over and done with. And it's just a nice little introduction into looting plagued houses and what a plagued district and that will look like. And basically all we're looking for when you come into these plagued districts is you're looking for a lot of like mechanical scrap and useful items like that to upgrade our inventory, basically to fix any weapons that we've got. And as I say, you're going to find a lot of cash, you're going to find a lot of useful items for trading with the kids, and you're also going to find a lot of useful items for trading with the guy from the dead item shop. So with that part done with, we are now going to be continuing with the treasure hunt that the kids gave us. We will be getting some schmauder at the end of this quest, so it's definitely worth doing. Again, all we need to do is head to these circular markers on the map, and it's basically going to let us know that there's a children's stash there to be found. So here we are on the one for the bottom left of the map, and this one's just tucked away just behind a rock. We've got ourselves a note and some decent bits and bobs in there, so we'll grab the note if we can. And let's give the note a little read, see what it says. He doesn't know about the station, I'm sure, so it's safe. Ginger's allowed today. Now them notes are just absolute random piles of crap, aren't they, to be honest? Just random words written on a letter. But we'll leave them a bullet, as always. So on the way through, if you've seen the cat icon, you're going to find all the orderlies outside. We'll just have a quick chat to them. And they're basically going to say that Dr. Dankovsky, which we know him, or I know him as the Bachelor, he's ordered the people to his house, basically to tell them what's been going on, or what is about to embark upon this town. Once we enter the Bachelor's house, we're going to find a young girl by the name of Eva. Now, she will be tied to a trophy later on. She is a person that we need to protect over these next few days.
The angel of death paces at my door.
So she's going to ask us who we are, and you can tell her whatever you want. So if we go upstairs, we're going to find out that it's basically a save point. You will find the Bachelor here later on in the coming days. And in a second, we're going to be popping the alarm bell trophy. Now this is story related, so we can't miss it. So make sure you've done everything you've needed to do before you get to the Bachelor's house. So we will be able to still do the treasure hunt quest that the kids gave us. So it's a perfect time for us to finish this quest off and grab ourselves some schmauder. So if you turn away, then you'll turn back. It's still there. If you turn away, we'll just check this bins, see if that triggers it. Right, okay, they're hiding now. So the first place you'll find the first child is here on the map, and she's just hiding behind this bush here. So if you trade with her, you're basically just going to trade the walnuts for whatever you've got in your inventory, and then that's going to class as you've found her. So there's the first one down. The next child is hiding just here on the map, and you'll find him hiding just behind the skip, behind this wall. Again, trade with him, trade whatever you want, so he's happy. And the final one is just at the top here, and he's probably in the worst hiding space you could ever find. He's going to offer us Schmauder or walnuts, and we're obviously going to want to take the Schmauder off him, so we'll trade pretty much everything we've got. I'm sure I've said previously that if any of the kids offer you a Schmauder, then do take it. Even if it takes up your whole entire inventory of tradable items, then just take it, because they will become invaluable later on throughout this game. So we're going to head on to the town hall then, and we are going to be starting this plague, and there's going to be quite a few people in here that we're going to need to speak to. So a lot of this is just going to be conversations, and you first want to start by speaking to Fat Vlad. Now, no matter what you say to anybody here, it doesn't affect any story going on. Make sure you talk to absolutely everybody, because there are some new characters that we haven't met yet. And as I said, you just basically want to tell them whatever you want to tell them. Fat Vlad is going to basically say to us he wants us to save the architects. They're not really important. There are other people we need to save first. So always bear that in mind. There's certain people you want to save. There's certain people that you're just not bothered about. Once you've spoken to Fat Vlad, you're going to want to speak to Victor Kane, and he's going to tell us that the hospital is going to be set up in the theatre, and that is basically going to be our job for the coming days. We're going to be working in and out of this hospital that they've built. And again, just tell him anything. And then you're going to want to speak to the Sabarovs.
No promises about taste, but it'll certainly be hot.
And speak to his wife as well, Katerina. And once you've spoken to the Sabarovs, you're going to want to go and speak to young Vlad, and he's going to tell you about the termitory.
Foundation beneath our feet.
And next we're going to want to speak to Ruben, and he's basically going to tell us that he wants to handle everything, but we're going to put our differences aside and we're going to let him basically work with us. Again, it doesn't matter what you say to him. Finally, if we speak to the Bachelor, and he's basically going to grill us on what qualifications we've got, and he wants us to become his aide and basically work for him.
Chaos.
So if you just keep him talking as long as possible, you should be okay. Again, I don't think it really matters what you say to him. We'll just try and be nice to him if you want. And any options that basically say that you want to save people, etc., then always go for them ones. And once you've spoken to the Bachelor, we want to speak to Georgie Kane, and he is the one, who wants both architects to live. So he's going to give us our next quest, which is to go and see them architects. But again, like I've said, there's other people that are more important than them two. They don't really need to be saved. And as you can see, we've got 2 markers now, which we need to go and check out. But we're going to leave that for the next video. So I'm going to save the game. So be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. And subscribe for more trophy hunting content. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.